Hello and welcome to Hypothetical Hypocrite, a channel where I'm a hypocrite, but I'm hypothetical about it. My name is Jeremy, and here I play video games and just plain try to be entertaining. As you can see, I'm going to be playing some more of The Hunter Call of the Wild. This game's a great simulation for real-life hunting. It's got everything in it that you'd want as in a game that's all about hunting. It's got wind direction, it's got smell, sound, it's even got hound dogs that you can use to track, and all sorts of stuff that makes hunting fun, and you can do it without actually hurting anything, which is an extra bonus. But before we get started, if you do enjoy this type of content, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons, leave a comment and share. Any one of those would be great, but all four would be amazing, just like you are. Also, hit that notification bell so you can be notified of all my posts. If you do enjoy the content, you won't want to miss anything. And with all that said and done, let's get into the game. We're starting out in Silver Ridge Peaks this time. I decided to go to a new map since we were pretty much done with that other one. I didn't feel like going on a hunt for, what is that? Oh. A Merriam turkey, huh? That's a white one. I don't think that's their natural color. Huh. Cool. Got a deer out there. Got some bison.
The fastest land mammal in North America. They're not as sensitive to noise as some of the other animals in the reserve, but they trust their eyes, so stay down and hidden to prevent them from bolting.
Okay. Oh, we got some black bear.
Bears are the smallest bear species on the continent, but that's not much of a comfort when one's charging you at 30 miles an hour. I'm sure you know to always keep a loaded gun handy.
And this is all right outside the outpost. Like, just right here. You can see it.
You got everything? Fantastic. The tower isn't too far to go from here.
Okay. I guess we're going to the tower. Well, we're going to use the four-wheeler. The handy-dandy four-wheeler. Goodbye. Why does it feel like I'm going so slow? Come on, you can make it. Jiminy Christmas. Come on. Just a little bit further. Come on. You can do it.
There's hopefully a free shelf inside, somewhere you can stash the supplies. Oh, you should hang on to a couple of the flyers, though.
Okay. I still can't believe this is our running speed. This is so slow. But I guess we've been playing with it like this for this long. It's been working for us say, or that way.
Fantastic. That tower should have everything it needs now. How's the view from up there? It's great to have a hunter like yourself
It's
around.
pretty.
I'm grateful for your help with the supplies. I can't wait to hear your Silver Ridge hunting stories. Things have been quiet here recently. But with a hunter of your caliber on the reserve, we're gonna show folks that this is still the best place in the Rockies to hunt. Plus, you're not the only one working with us. We were able to convince Remy Warren to visit, and he's been logging his solo hunts out here for a week or so. He's got a pretty decent following online, so hopefully he's impressed with the reserve. When I proposed using social media to promote the reserve, the board were a little hesitant. But they're giving us a chance to try something new, and I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So I suppose you were wondering why I wanted you to grab the flyers, right?
Sure.
There are people who come out here just to visit the lake. I'm fine with people standing on the shore, but until we know exactly what's going on, we need to keep people out of it. I had these flyers made up so we can pin them to our bulletin boards. There's a trail that leads straight to the lake, so I'd like you to pin up one of these flyers at the trailhead. Now, the flyers cover the basics: heavy metals, mining waste, and why to avoid diving in. It's not much, but until we know more, it's all we have. The lake is beautiful, and it's always pulled in visitors. It still looks the same as it ever did. Maybe even better, now that it's calm and peaceful. But now, I can't look at it without seeing what it did to my dad, or what it's doing to the reserve. People discover that we have one contaminated lake and assume that the reserve isn't worth visiting anymore. So far, the local wildlife seems okay, but our bookings for visitors, and especially hunters, have dried up. I have a few contingency plans that I want to try out. I'm a little nervous, though, as our board can be a little conservative. And if my ideas don't involve pulling in hunters, it can be really tricky to get them on board. It was easier to convince the board to invite yourself and Remy into the reserve, given that you're both hunters with good reputations. I'm glad you said yes.
Okay. Alright, so where are we going? That way? Oop.
Take a look at the water. If I hadn't told you, would you suspect that the lake was dangerous?
Well, looks kind of grimy with all the dead reed. Something's off. You can tell something's off. Oh, well, hey. Look at the way it shines like that. Like there's oil slick on top.
We might not be able to monitor the lake 24/7, but at least now people have been warned. Thanks for taking care of that.
Yep.
It's such a strange
pleasure.
feeling to be publicizing the very issue that is hurting us at the moment. I know it's the responsible thing to do, but it still feels slightly like self-sabotage. Our summer season has already started, and normally, this whole area would be covered with hikers. I've only seen a handful of people in the reserve recently. I'm sure that things will pick up eventually. But every day, I'm reminded that my dad was the major driving force behind this place. It's just bad timing, I suppose. We'd had some other issues with one of the board members, but that's in the past. The best thing to do is to keep pushing forward. I've got some big plans to help turn things around. Who knows? Maybe we'll have this place at full strength by the time my dad gets back in the saddle.
You never know. So what are we doing now?
I'm talking a lot about family stuff, aren't I? I suppose work and family are the same thing for me, you know? I've been watching my dad do this job since I was a kid. Let's change the subject, shall we? I've got a job that I'd like you to take care of.
Okay.
The big plans I mentioned before. One of these plans is a little passion project of mine. We're gonna need some gear. Repelling gear, actually. I have stashed a few bags at
Really?
one of the nearby outposts, and I'd like you to head over there and pick them up, when you can. I've been doing adventure sports for about 10 years or so now. It started with bouldering and rock climbing while I was on a high school trip. Last year, I got an accreditation as an instructor. I was planning on teaching classes. When my dad got ill, I put it on the back burner. Now, I think we have a good opportunity to make to it. Unfortunately, I'm a little too busy to teach classes just now. But one of my base jumping friends, Sammy, took the same course as me, so she's gonna lead the class instead.
That's cool of her. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright. Let's just cut this way. That's what it was telling us. Just to cut through. Another turkey. Why not? We got the cash. Big jump. Huh. Alright, we finally come up on our next
Packed it into a couple
location.
of backpacks. It shouldn't be too heavy.
I didn't know it was going to bring us right to another outpost. That's quite handy. Oh, geez.
You got everything? There's a good
Yeah,
rock face
it's a
nearby
lot
that
of
Sammy
stuff.
can use to teach her beginners. If I recall correctly, you also have some mountain climbing experience. I get it. Those mountain goats aren't easy to catch. There's some good anchoring
Mountain
points at the
goats.
top of the rock face. If you can get those ropes nice and secure, it'll save Sammy some time and help the class.
Really now? We're going rock climbing? Okay, well, let's head that way and be there in a flash.
Truth be told, I've wanted to start an extreme sports group here for a long time. But the old chairman of the board pushed back against anything that wasn't hunting. He was very old-fashioned, though. The patriarch of the Simpkins Electronics Empire. He even forced his vegan animal rights activist son, Timothy, to come with him on hunting trips to Africa. Accused the activist of brainwashing his son. The family reputation around here dropped quite dramatically when my dad caught Timothy drinking and dealing drugs inside the reserve. Simpkins actually used his power on the board to keep my dad quiet. But the next time my dad caught Tim in the reserve, he wasn't just dealing drugs. He had been poaching. Dad called it in without even telling Simpkins Sr. Of course, he was furious. Tried to get my dad fired, actually. But all credit to the board. They stuck with my old man. All these changes I want to make will hopefully account for the loss of the Simpkins' money and influence. This is just the start, too. I'm proposing snowboarding and extreme skiing for the winter. I've got some friends who I'd love to invite over to shoot some videos. Could be fun, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, if the rappelling goes well and makes a little money, I think the old folks on the board will start to come around.
As long as it's safe, that's all they're gonna care. As long as it's safe.
That looks great. I doubt I could have done a better job myself. Don't let the ropes down. We don't need them getting all tangled up. I really appreciate your help with this one. It's been an uphill battle to get to this point, and I'm disappointed that I can't be there to run the classes myself. If I'm being honest, I have a lot invested in the classes going well. There's still some people on the board who are friends with the old chairman, and it seems pretty clear that they don't like me proposing new ideas. Anyway, I'll let Sammy know that we're good to go. I trust her to take care of it.
Alright, so what are we doing next? A dangerous reaction, huh?
Hey, so listen. There might be a situation going on at the moment and I could really use your help to check it out.
Okay.
It's not just gold and silver mining that took place out here. Even more recently, there was a working uranium mine in the area. When the reserve was established, we took responsibility for keeping it safe. Anyway, the old uranium mine is very rarely a problem. But recently, it appears that one of our neighbors, a guy I went to school with actually, has been spotted camping out around the mine. His name's Bobby Joe Jefferson. He's normally just a nuisance, driving his quad bike around and setting up little shooting ranges with tin cans. He makes the deer and turkeys extra skittish, so the hunters hate him. Can you head over to the mine and see what's going on? He's allowed to hike and camp there, but I don't want him going anywhere near the entrance itself.
Okay. Once we respawn, we'll take care of that. We'll be right on top of it. Alright. So where are we going? Way over here. Okay. Let's get that four-wheeler. Alright, and as usual, we'll be there with you in just a second. Alright, we're coming up on where we need to be. Oh, there's a pit.
Okay, first things first. Let's make sure that the mine itself is still secure. A trail camera? I've used these for work and for hunting before. This one shouldn't be here, though. We don't want hunters so close to the mine. Grab the camera. Another trail camera. Bobby Joe doesn't have a permit to hunt here. Is he poaching? This looks intact, at least. That's got to be a good sign. Hopefully that's the last one. Pick him up and I'll put him in our lost and found when I can take him from you. I don't really understand what's going on with the cameras, but at least the entrance is secure. Let's go find his camp, shall we?
Yeah.
It was actually Remy that called this one in. He doesn't know who Bobby Joe is, but I knew who it was as soon as Remy described him.
Well, we should be there real quick on a four-wheeler. Only a couple 100 meters. Oh! Jumping.
That looks like his camp. Any sign of him? Rifle cartridges.
Uh-oh.
That's not good news. Binoculars. Maybe he was hunting. Some snacks? Not enough to last a long trip, though. I'm seeing a pretty worrying pattern here. Take a look in the tent. A journal. Maybe this'll show us why he's out here.
Okay, definitely more signs of activity around the disused uranium mine. Footprints and some superficial damage to the mine entrance. Saturday, 1:40, decided to camp out by the mine, and there's been no activity tonight. Going to stay up until dawn and will sleep until lunchtime. Sunday at midnight time frame. A truck just drove most of the way in towards the mine. It's black with tinted windows. If I had to guess, the government are sending agents out to retrieve resources from the mine. Two guys got out and tried the entrance. They had knives but no real equipment for getting in. Were they testing the door to make sure that nobody could get in, or are they worried about something getting out? I couldn't see if they were armed, but if they're part of something big, they're almost certainly going to have pistols. Sunday at 6:45. Followed the truck to the edge of the Silver Ridge Peaks, but I'm low on fuel and have to get back to camp. Is Alan Bradley aware of this? Is he in on this? I'm going to need allies if we bring this conspiracy to light, but first I need fuel and some breakfast. Why is it not scrolling? Why is it not moving? It's not scrolling down. I know there's more for me to read, but what is there? Oh well, I guess. Oh well. Maybe that was all there was to read. Okay, now what? Investigate Bobby Joe's tent. Oh yeah, this sign.
That's our sign. Pick it up, would you?
Okay, just did.
Secret uranium mining. Government conspiracy? I'll be honest. I never credited Bobby Joe with this much imagination in high school. Replant the sign, and we're done here for now. You know what makes this extra weird? He actually has done some detective work. Enough to convince himself to camp here.
Okay, is that all you gotta say? Alright, 200 meters that way. Where's my wheeler? Here we are. Let's go find out what's 200 yards this way. Meters, I should say. Not yards, it's meters.
The sign's back up? Great. This mine has never been a problem before, but let's not take any chances. Me and my dad have been dealing with Bobby Joe for years, but this is new. I know he's a nuisance, but I always felt sorry for him. He had a pretty tough upbringing. I don't want to call the police, but I have to. He's armed and known for making poor choices.
Well, that's sad for him. He's still got to follow the rules, just like everybody else, right? Right. And I think we'll go ahead and end it there. And we like to keep these videos short for you guys.
It's not just the neighbors that are making questionable calls
and he always
today.
likes to talk when I'm ending.
Sometimes folks from the city will drive out here to get away from work or their personal lives or whatever happens to be bothering them. The problem is that sometimes, quite often actually, people wander into the wilderness without a clue of how to survive if things go wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. And based on a couple of phone calls I've had from the hospital today, I think that someone has made a mess and could use some help. I was going to check in on them myself, but I need to coordinate with the police on this Bobby Joe thing, and you're already really close by. Can you head over to the campgrounds nearby and check in on them? The phone calls were sporadic at best. As far as I can tell, this professional yoga and meditation expert has led a group of accountants from Denver into the wilderness on some sort of spiritual retreat. She took their cell phones away from them and had them eating wild flowers and berries. Some of them got sick and have gone directly to the hospital. I know that we're not the
Nice.
reason why this happened, but it could look very bad for us if anyone gets seriously hurt. I'd appreciate if you'd hustle and check it out.
Okay, well, that's something we can do in the next video. Go rescue some poisoned people. So, yeah. But we had some fun at least seeing some of the area, some of the landscape. This place looks great for hunting, especially when you come into the map on an outpost and you're literally surrounded by wildlife. There's all different sorts of game everywhere around you. And that's fantastic to see, especially when you start out in a new map. But hopefully you guys were entertained by this short little bit. If so, you know what to do. Hit those buttons down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And with that being said, I hope y'all have a great one. And I'll see you in the next video.